Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Fantastic Mods and Where to Find Them. Today we will be doing a lot of things in the kitchen, and that's because I want to go ahead and finish all the Pam's Harvestcraft tools and machines so we can go ahead and start using those and making more interesting stuff with them. And I also want to make sure our kitchen is all set up so we can move on to other parts of the house. So let's start with the one that has a problem first. So we are going to be making a sink, and this isn't necessarily a huge problem as long as you're okay with having the wooden sink. But if you, in 1.7.10, if you make a stone sink, a clay sink, or a brick sink, you're going to be very disappointed because when you place those, they will look exactly like the wooden sink. Also, the name here it's showing is tile.sink.name, which isn't really correct. It should say wooden sink there as well. So there's a glitch with that in this version. So we're just going to be making the wooden sink for ours so we don't waste any materials on that. That's just going to be 6 iron ingots here and then some jungle wood in the middle. Or any kind of logs will work right there. And I think we're going to be placing our sink right here because I want our regular oven to be next to our Hobbit oven because I think that will look nice, and I don't want that sink next to that because I tried it and I really didn't like the way it looked as much. So that's where our sink's going to go. So this is the recipe for the presser, and the presser is one of the most handy tools in Pam's Harvestcraft ever. So that is probably why it's so expensive to make, but I'm telling you, it's definitely worth it. So if you're thinking about not making it because you don't have all the supplies, go get the supplies because this is very important right here. This is what allows us to press our soybeans into tofu and other stuff. That's very important, so we are definitely going to need this. And I just went ahead and put our presser right beside our sink, and then I'm planning to put our churn there and our oven right there. So this is the recipe for the churn here. You can see we have 2 sticks and then just 5 planks here, and it's in a boat shape, so that's super easy. And the churn is just going to help us make butter, I think, is basically all that does. I'm not sure if it does anything else. So here's our recipe for the oven. It's just going to be 7 iron ingots, a furnace in the middle, and then iron bars on top. This is going to be super useful for us. I think we can use oil in here as fuel, so that's going to be very nice later in the game. So we're going to put that right next to our Hobbit oven. It also just looks really pretty. Like, that white oven is so beautiful. In comparison to some of this other stuff, it's really a nice touch. I went ahead and also put some chests right here. I think that's going to be very nice and easy for us. Very nice access to the stuff we need in our kitchen. I think we might have room for some chests over here eventually as well, but for the moment I think these will do. There is also another machine called a quern, which is, I guess, it's used for grinding stuff, but we already have a mortar and pestle, so I'm not sure that's necessary. There are 3 other machines you can make with Pam's Harvestcraft. 2 of them are the animal trap and the fishing trap, both of which we will be making today, but I don't think they will be going in our kitchen. And then the third is the market, which we will not be making today because it requires emeralds and we do not have those yet. So the market's basically just used for trading. You can trade emeralds for different seeds and things like that. So this is the recipe for our fish trap. It's just going to be a stick, a fishing rod, a stick, string, a chest, string, and a stick, string, and a stick again. So that's a very easy thing. I'm not sure how much you can catch in this fish trap, like what kind of stuff you can catch, if it's just fish or if you can get the other stuff in it, like enchanted books and stuff. So we're gonna try it anyway though, and hopefully we will get that stuff as well. That would be really nice. And here is the recipe for the animal trap. It's also very, very simple. Basically the only difference is that you use a trapdoor instead of a fishing pole up here. And again, I'm really not sure what all this catches, but I think it might be very useful for us to have one. Okay, so I think with the fishing trap you actually do need to make bait for it as well. So we will do that, but not yet. I was reading about it and it says you have to put it in a 5x5 of water on the same level as the water. I'm not sure if we can just place it in an open area of water or if it literally has to be a 5x5. We're gonna just try putting it over here and we'll put some bait in it later and then we'll see how that works. But the bait is consumed when it generates an item, so it will be consuming bait as we use it. So this is the way I think you need to put in the animal trap. It just needs to be in the ground like this and on the same level as all the dirt around it. And then you need to have a 2-block radius out from it at any given point, is what I think from what I was reading online. So it also has to use bait, and this is what it looks like in the interface. You can get lots of different stuff from this. What I'm most excited about is you can get bones and leather from it, so that's going to be really cool. So the first thing we are going to make with the tools, we've already made all the machines we can make right now. So the first tool that we're going to make is the cutting board, and the nice thing about that is it can be placed on top of something else and look like an actual cutting board, so that's really cool. It just takes an iron ingot, a stick, and a plank. I'm going to be placing my cutting board on top of the churn because I think it will look nicest in this kitchen. So there we are, there is our cutting board. I think that does look really nice on top of there. So this is the recipe for a pot. It's pretty easy. We just have 4 iron ingots and some kind of stick. You can use other kinds of stuff. You could also use copper for this, but I choose to use iron because I have a lot of it. Next we have the mortar and pestle. That's just 3 stone in a bowl shape here, and then you have a stick in the middle of some sort. Here's the mixing bowl. It's very similar to the mortar and pestle. You have planks here, and then you have a stick in the middle. This is how you make the skillet. It's also very easy. Just diagonally we have 2 iron ingots and then a stick. The saucepan is also incredibly easy. It's just an iron ingot on top of a stick in your crafting table. Next we have the bakeware, which is actually a little bit more difficult because you have to go out and get clay and then you have to cook it up, but basically it just takes 8 bricks. This might be easier if you already have gotten to the nether and you can just use nether brick instead, but yes, you just use 8 bricks in a circle there and that gives you bakeware. And last but not least we have the juicer. The juicer is also a very, very, very important one, so if I were you I would not skip this because juice is it fills up so much hunger in this mod. At least from what I'm remembering about playing this before, juice is very, very good in this mod, so definitely make that. It's just a stone on top of a stone pressure plate. As you can see, we've crafted all the tools here. I'm looking for leather right now because I am trying to make item frames so that we can put them on the wall and it will look nice. We could just keep them in this chest, but I think it will be way more handy to have them on the wall and it will look a lot prettier in our kitchen. So this is how you make one of the types of bait here. I'm going to be making some veggie bait because I want to go ahead and put it in the animal trap. You can put grain bait, veggie bait, and fruit bait in the animal trap, but you have to put fish trap bait in the fish trap, which is why we're not doing that right now, because you have to catch some fish first, and basically you just use 3 fish there. So we're gonna make some veggie bait, and then hopefully we'll get some more leather that way, because that's definitely what I want to be getting right now. So the good news is you can put however much veggie bait you want in there, I guess. I don't know if it limits itself to a stack or not, but you can put a good amount in there. And then this is really fast. I already got a raw mutton from here, so hopefully we'll go through this pretty quickly and get some leather. So we do already have 5 pieces of leather here that I have acquired at this point, and all you need other than that is sticks if you're not familiar with the recipe. So we're just going to go ahead and make as many item frames as we can right now. That's how many item frames we have right now, and that is where I'm planning on putting them. I was also going to put one right there and then one right there as well, but for right now I think that'll be fine. We'll just go ahead and put what tools we can right there. So right now that's what that's looking like. We do have 5 item frames filled here, and then I went ahead and put the pot on the stove because that looks kind of cool. We do have a juicer left over that still needs to be put somewhere, but I'm kind of thinking of making a drink station over here, and we could put our juicer over here and our barrel over here. Not sure what else, but that might be really nice to do. So I just decided to make a couple more churns because, and not because I need them to churn anything, but because I think they make a really nice countertop block for us, and that's kind of what we need right now for our drink station. I want it to look kind of similar to the rest of the kitchen, so I'm just going to make a couple more of those since they're very, very cheap to make. We're just going to put our barrel right here, and then we're going to be putting an item frame on this block here with the juicer, and it's going to look really, really good as a drink station there. Taking a step back and looking at our kitchen, this is kind of what it looks like right now. I think it's coming together really, really well. So I just came to check the trap, and we already have 2 pieces of leather, which is amazing. So because of the leather that we got, we were able to make that last item frame there and put our juicer in it. I think our juice station looks phenomenal, looks awesome. We even have a little bit of counter space here, although we don't really need it in Minecraft. It looks nice. So I'm very, very excited about this kitchen. Wow, okay, I didn't know that they could ride horses. So I went to the Shire here, as you can tell. I'm collecting books from these hobbits, which I know is stealing, but I'm going to give them stuff in return. And I found this dude sitting on a pony. Isn't that adorable? I didn't even know they could ride. And he has a saddle and little reins and everything. He's so cute. I wonder if this guy is special in any way. Nope, he's just a regular. Okay, he's a sheriff. So I wonder if the sheriffs always ride on ponies. That is really cool. So our next plan is to go ahead and make our enchanting station, and I can't really make the table right now because it's too expensive with diamonds and obsidian, which I have 3 diamonds, but that's just enough to make a pick, and then I would need to get the obsidian, and then I'd need 2 more diamonds, which I don't have. So we'll make that later, but for right now I need to go ahead and make the bookcases and put those in. So I have about 54 books now, and all it takes is the books and planks. So this is the recipe for bookcases, and I will just be making 16 of these. So I think I got a little bit too many books, but we are okay on that. I think that will be just fine. We need to make 16 of these, and then we will need to eventually get an enchanting table as well. I'm just going to be replacing all of these blocks here with the bookcases that I just made. So of course, once I did this, I remembered that you can actually chisel bookcases to look different. So I guess it still works with an enchanting station, hopefully. But I think I'm going to take out a couple of these and replace them so that they're not all the same and they vary a little bit in style. So let's see about trying that out. These are all the different bookshelves we can make. So I think I'm going to pick out a couple that I like and then kind of mix and match them with the other ones and see if they look good. So hopefully that will work out and it'll all look nice together. Some of the chiseled ones look nice together, but they really don't look nice with the originals. So I might have to take these all out and try again and put in some more of the chiseled ones with it. And here are the finished bookcases. I think they look really, really good together. I was a little unsure about some of them at first, but the more I look at them, the more I like them, and I think once the green grass here is gone, it's gonna look really, really good. And then also once we have our enchanting table right there, yeah, it's gonna look spectacular. So our next area of work is going to be in the loft up here. I went ahead and put some marble, chiseled marble all the way around the edge here just for some safety reasons. I'm not sure what else I want to do with the walls up here. I've actually been thinking maybe I'll make this part have a separate roof to the roof over there. So maybe we can make like some kind of fun thing on the roof over there and you can get to it from here. I'm not sure. Really not sure what I want to do. I was originally going to make it all the same height, but then what are we going to do about having a hugely tall ceiling over there? I'm not sure. So for right now, I think the railing I want to use is iron bars because I have a bunch of those and I think it'll look nice anyway. I'm just going to put those across here. So that's what the iron bars look like. It's not the best look in the world, but it is pretty nice color-wise with what we already have. I think our next step is to just go ahead and start putting some chests up here. So right there, that is 20 chests that I made, and that was a lot of wood. And I know everyone always says that making a lot of chests requires a lot of wood, but holy moly, that's a lot, and that only made this many. Now that is really going to bother me because all of those, see, all of these are facing one way and then that one's facing the other way, but if we put it the same way as the rest of them, then it'll open like facing the wall and it'll also look weird that way. So I'm really not sure what to do with that. Maybe it's just OCD, I'm not sure, but it doesn't really sit well with me that it is facing that way. This is what the upstairs is looking like. I went ahead and put some more of the walls up, and to be really honest, I am running out of marble faster than I can find it. It is actually difficult once you have mined most of it in your area to find more because it's not something that's very predictable. So I went ahead and made some spots for windows as well, and I made them floor length for now because I think it looks really elegant. I don't know if it will stay that way, but I think for right now that's what I'm gonna do. I need to get more wood and more marble at the moment. In our total explorations, I have found one textile plant, and that thankfully does give you 3 cotton when you break it, but we're going to need to be planting a lot of cotton here. So I went ahead and planted those 3 because basically the order of operations here is cotton is going to give us string, string is going to let us have bait, and then bait is going to give us bones and all this other stuff that's really good, and then we can use those bones to make bone meal, which will definitely help with our wheat production. Another thing that's going to help with wheat production is I am hoping next episode to get a fairy and then give it a task for helping me with wheat, and that is a big if, but hopefully it will work out. And then what we need the wheat for is the roof. So that's our next big step on the house. Right now I have 2 stacks of wheat, but that is not nearly enough because each piece of thatch takes 5 wheat, which is a lot. So it's relatively inexpensive when you think about it, but for a roof as big as that roof is, it's probably going to take more than 2 stacks of wheat. So that's our next big thing we want to be doing. And then maybe next episode we will also do an apiary, which I forgot to do this time, and then we can get started on wax and all that stuff. So thank you so much for watching. I think this is where we're going to end our episode for today. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and if you did, please hit the like button. Again, thanks so much for watching and have a great day.